What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It is HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video, and welcome to, once again, another convention recap video. The very last show that I'll be doing for 2024, the conventions of 2024 are over. It was a great year for conventions. I can't wait for 2025 for conventions. So, without further ado, let's get on to the video at hand. For this convention recap is going to be my Christmas Con recap in Edison, New Jersey. Now, this is the same venue where they hold the New Jersey Horror Con most of the time up there in the New Jersey Expo Center up in Edison. And I've been to that show quite a few times. I've met Eric Roberts and Angela Goethals, who is Lenny McAllister in the first Home Alone, Ken Sagos. I've met Vanessa Shaw from Hocus Pocus was there, and I met the two Lost Boys people, Chance Michael Corbett, Laddie, and G. Tom Mack, and the list goes on and on. So I've been to the show quite a few times, and it's always a really good show up there, really nice little venue there. Can't wait for the next one they're going to have in 2025. But this is run by a different company. I think it's That's For Entertainment. I think that's the company that runs the show or whatever. I think they're the promoter, I guess you would say, of the show. So they do the Christmas cons, and they hold 3 conventions a year. They do 90s Con in Florida, the Christmas Con in Jersey, and they also hold a 90s Con in, I believe, Connecticut. I mean, as much I would love to go to the 90s cons and everything, but Connecticut's like almost a 6-hour drive from here, and I just don't think it's it's like going up toward Pittsburgh area, so it's quite a long drive, and I not really a fan of like long car rides like that myself. So but they always have really good guests at the 90s con and everything. But getting on to the Christmas con at hand here, so I met 3 people at the Christmas con. I was originally going to get Rachel Lee Cook, but Rachel Lee Cook unfortunately canceled because she got sick, which is a shame. I hope she's doing okay now. So she canceled, and Travis Van Winkle from the Friday the 13th remake, Trent, he canceled because of filming. So I was down to basically my other person I was going to get along with those 2, and then they got replaced by 2 other people. So luckily it was 2 other people that I wanted. So it worked out in the end for me. So, like I said, I met 3 people at the show. Now, before I get onto the pictures and everything like that, I want to give you guys a little bit of a reminder before I show the photos and everything like that. I did not get any of pictures of the celebrities signing my item because this particular show, the promoters and everything, they're very strict about candid photos or videos. In the autograph areas, they had like at least 3 or 4 signs that says there's like little like flags and everything like that where they like a standee or something like that, and it says it has a camera with a big circle with a line through it, and it says candid photos and videos are strictly prohibited in this area, so you cannot take photos or video in that area. So or else you'll get in a lot of trouble. So I had a feeling that was probably going to be what it was going to be like, because I've heard that from other people that have done this show before, that there's no candid photography or things like that. So I kind of knew that going into it, so that was kind of a bummer. But anyway, you have to respect the rules of the show and everything like that. So I understood and things like that. So nothing I can really do on that front. So this will be just strictly the picture of me and the celebrity, and then the autographed item they signed for me. So want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up about that. But enough of me rambling on. Let's get on to the guests that I met. The first person that I met was the biggest reason I wanted to go to the show, and that is Danica McKellar. Of course, all of you know her as Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years, but I always remember her mostly from the Chuck Norris film Sidekicks. And she's also been she's been in a lot of Hallmark Christmas movies and things like that. This is a lot of the guests of the show were Hallmark people or things like that. And she's also, I remember her also in a couple episodes of The Impractical Jokers. But I always remember her the most from Sidekicks, which is a really fun Chuck Norris movie with him and Jonathan Brandis. So Danica was the first person I went up to, and Danica McKellar was easily one of the best people of the whole show. She was so nice, so fan friendly and things like that. She was a really really nice person to talk to. I mean, literally the first thing that came out of her mouth was she said hello to me, and then she said to me, "Thank you for coming to see me first," because she knows that because like she gets a pretty big line and things like that. She was thanking everyone coming out to see her and things like that. And I'm like, and she's a big math person because she writes a lot of math books. And she's really smart with math and everything, and I am as well. So we talked about our love for math stuff and things like that. We were talking about how the Christmas con is always like she talks about like how the Christmas con is always a blast to go to and all the stuff that they do and things like that. You can definitely tell Danica really enjoys doing the Christmas con because if you look at her Instagram and things like that, she's like posting stories like after each day that she's there thanking everyone that came up to see her, and she's filming herself doing the panels, and she's doing they had like this event where they lit up a Christmas tree and she was part of the ceremony, and she's live streaming the whole thing on her Instagram, and you can definitely tell that she definitely has a blast at this particular convention. And she was just really, really nice. She was taking her time with everybody. She took like at least 5 minutes or so with each and every guest, as well as me, and things like that. Like you couldn't have asked for a nicer person than Danica McKellar, as she was super awesome. And another thing I really liked about Danica as well is that I wish more celebrities would do that. Like they had the ring light where your picture looked a lot better and it was a lot brighter, and it shows up really, really nice. Like I've had that a couple times with other celebrities, and they came out really, really nice. Like Priscilla Presley, Dina Meyer, and I think Lisa Jacob, from Mrs. Doubtfire, also had that as well at the New Jersey HorrorCon in Atlantic City. So I really, and the way that the ring light came out is really, really nice, and even Danica was like, why don't you take your glasses off? It's actually a lot better when you take your glasses off when they take the picture in front of the ring light and everything, because there might be a glare and everything. So I took this will be like the first time you'll see me in a celebrity picture without my glasses, because I need these to see. But the picture actually came out really, really nice, especially when I took my glasses off and everything like that. It came out really, really good in the lighting, and so really, really smart move. And thank you for Danica for giving me that tip, because the picture came out amazing. So here is my picture with me and Danica McKellar. And I did not have anything to bring for her. I just got an 8x10 off her table. It was like a headshot of her. Um, Not from anything particular. It was just like a regular headshot of her. So here is the an autographed item. And also, too, she also threw in a little program and put a smiley face on. That's like her trademark when she signs autographs. She gave me like a little flyer program showing off about her new Hallmark film that's coming out this year. I think it's called A Cinderella Christmas on Hallmark, and she was giving me all this information about what channels that you can like look at it on. She like showed me the back of the little flyer and said all the channels that you can view it on are on there and everything. She did that with every person. They got a little flyer for an ad for her newest Hallmark film. So enough of me rambling on about that. So here is the picture of her autograph. Okay, guys, moving on to the next person. The next person that I met was one of the replacements, and that is Corbin Burnson. All of you know him as Roger Dorn from the Major League movies, but my favorite role of his is easily Dr. Alan Feinstein in the Dentist films, where he plays the crazy dentist. So I really wanted to get him on my Dentist Blu-ray. And Corbin was a really, really cool guy. We talked or so for like 5 minutes. We were just talking about baseball in general, about the off season that's happening right now. And he was like cracking jokes with everybody, and he was super cool, Corbin Burns. and anytime you have like sports conversations with people who are big sports fans, like baseball or football, it's a really cool conversation. Um, and Corbin Burnson just makes it even more memorable, just how funny he is and things like that. So definitely a really cool experience. And he said that he was telling me that it was the only dentist thing that he signed that whole day because everyone was getting him for Major League and things like that, because not many people, I guess, bring up the dentist to him that much, at least not at a Christmas show. But I was kind of the odd man out. So here is my picture with me and Corbin Burnson. And his autograph on the item. Okay, guys, moving on to the last person that I met. The last person I met was a last minute addition to the show. I think he was the one that replaced Rachel Lee Cook, and that is Mark Lucas. All of you know him from the Hallmark stuff, but he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in the horror film They, he was in We Were Soldiers, he was in Summer Catch, but I always remember him mostly from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He was the spoof Fred character when Jay and Silent Bob are in the Scooby-Doo van. They encounter the characters that are dressed up like the Scooby-Doo characters, without using the names, obviously, for copyright reasons or things like that. So, or like rights reasons or whatever. Not copyright, rights. Duh. I mean, like, no, rights. Like, for rights reasons, they can't use the Scooby-Doo names. But Mark Lucas played the spoof Fred character. Why would we take cues from a dick and a handkerchief? Beat it. Keep it up, beat it, or I'll feed you to the fucking dog. That guy. Great, memorable character, side character in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So I really wanted to get him on my 8x10 photo that I already had Shannon Elizabeth on. And Mark, just like with Danica, was another VIP of the show. He was so funny. He was talking with everybody. And the first thing that he said to me was, I was wearing my Eagles hoodie, as you can see in the photos, like winning is for the birds, and I have my Eagles hat on. The first thing he says to me is, this is going to be a really quick one. He was talking about the Steelers and the Eagles game that was coming up that weekend. Because he was saying that, he was basically saying the Steelers are going to roll over and beat the Eagles. Sorry to break it to you, Mark, but Eagles whooped their butt 27-13. Sorry, Mark. Hi, Mark. He was joking around about that, and he was really blown away that anyone ever brought up Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back to him. He was just talking about how none of that never gets brought up to him. He was telling cool stories about working with Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes and things like that. And then when it came time to take the photo with me, he put his arm and his hand around me, and as the volunteer was taking the photo for us, he was saying to me, he was like whispering to me, "I promise you, I'm not putting my middle finger above your hat. I promise you." And I just we let out like the biggest laugh ever. And then when the photos were done, he said to me, "I was really tempted to put my middle finger, but it was really hard not to resist." So that whole joking thing about the Eagles and things like that kind of reminded me of Kevin Dillon last year at Chiller, because he's a Giants fan, and talking about that, I told that story when I did my Chiller Theater recap when I met Kevin Dillon. It just kind of gave me good vibes about that. So Mark Lucas, definitely another really cool guy. So here is my picture with me and Mark Lucas. And the autographed item. And there you have it, guys. That is it for the Christmas Con recap video. It was my first time going. I had a great time. I would definitely go back to it again. It was a blast. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this, and the convention videos are over for now up until next March. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.